Well, hello my friends. Today is Thursday and I am not, well, kind of doing a crash the stash. We're doing some creative stuff today, but I'm popping in today to talk about the new spring stencils that are available now today in the shop. There are 32 new stencils and I love them, love. I did a bunch of 6x6 so you can see all the 6x6s, and then we've got a bunch of 8x10s that are just so fun and springy and yummy and good. And so I just want to quickly run through those with you really fast. So let me scooch these off to the side. These are the 6x6s, and I'm going to show you samples of these in just a minute of what I did with them. In fact, let me grab, I think you can see that okay. Is it better there? Not sure how you can see them the best. That's why I printed out the actual black and white of it. So these are little pots, so cute. Wait till you see what I just, they're so cute. Little vintage crosses. I have big ones, but I did little ones. Love these. You can see how much I've already used them. These are positive words, and they're just this is going to be a staple in my backgrounds, but it's just do what makes you happy, just breathe, creativity takes courage, if you can be anything, be kind, follow your heart, all those good, strong, and positive words. And then lots and lots of really fun patterns in the 6x6s that I just love them. So this is modern pattern 1, modern pattern 6, you can see that there. Modern pattern 4, just really fun ones, super fun. Modern pattern 3. I love them all. They're so fun. They give such great variety in your backgrounds and things like that, and I just love them. This one I love. I love the look of it. It's got a real vintage feel to it. These are all modern pattern ones. And then I did some fun hexagon ones. Wait till you see how they look in the projects. But because I think they kind of maybe look strange and not maybe my style, but wait. These are going to be great in abstracts. Oh, can't wait. So this is a 6x6, and these are the small geohexagon. And then this is a larger geohexagon. I did some fun with that. This is Geocross 9, because there's 9 of them. Geocross 4, because there's 4 of them. And then just a large Geocross, which I think is going to be a great pattern for all kinds of different things. So that's the 6x6s. And then the 8x10s. Oh, I just love them. So Cherry Blossom. So much fun. Oh wait, this one is just fabulous. Bird's Nest. Oh my gosh. They just make, I'm just smiling. It makes me happy. These are daylilies. Daffodils. And the nice thing about these is the flower ones is that I made them with stems, which I typically don't do, but because of the pots that I did, I made them with stems, but you can just use the flower heads in the spring wreath and different things like that. So let me, these are, I didn't do anything with the roses yet because I do a lot with roses, but I will. Daffodils, or no, these are tulips. Hello. So tulips, did I do the daffodils already? Maybe I did. I should have had all the flowers together. I wasn't very prepared, was I? Lavender. Look at that. These are awesome. The sizes are great because they're smaller for smaller projects, for tags and different things like that, and then larger ones for some really great pieces. Just wait till you see what I created. Some spring leaves. just so good. And then let's see, did I get all the flowers? I think I did. Did I do the daffodils? The daffodils are so fun. Roses. I might be losing my... I did daffodils. Oh my goodness. Okay. Daylilies. Okay. Losing my mind. This is a tin bucket. And I did a piece... And I know it kind of looks like a beach bucket. I needed the lines in there to keep it sturdy and stable. But you can color those in, and I'll show you that in just a second. This could also work for a beach bucket as well. So it could do two purposes. Mason jar, so cute. Where's the terracotta pot one? Did I do that one too? I think oh, here we go. Losing my mind. Terracotta pots in really great sizes. Small, medium, and large, so yeah. And then, okay. Spring wreath. This is too cute and so incredibly versatile. You could just do it just like it is. You could do it very graphic in colors. You can add more of the spring leaves to it. You could add the lavender, and I did just a little bit with this, but the possibilities with this one are exciting. Okay, I did a large bicycle. And the reason I did a large one is because I wanted it to be like the focal point and really be able to create some flowers. And I also wanted it so that you could do just the front of it with flowers. And I'm going to show you an example in a second. And then what I did was I did minis of the patterns. And so I took the patterns even smaller in minis. So these are modern pattern 1 and modern pattern 2. And then I did a Geo minis. I took some of the older Geo designs and made them minis. I added a modern pattern in there. And then I've got some, ooh, I got paint everywhere already. I didn't even do anything yet. I've got some spring words that say new beginnings, hope, bloom, flower market, blossom, blissful, come alive, new possibilities, grow, joy, growing, awakening. Oh my gosh. How is this possible? That's how it's possible. Even when I'm not painting, I get paint everywhere. Unbelievable. Okay. Moving on. And then some angel wings. Sunday inspiration is going to be angels. So be looking out for that. So let me just show you. Make sure I got this paint cleaned up here. So those are all the stencils. So I just quickly grabbed some archival ink and my brush and just kind of stenciled out how you can use them. So I stenciled out my bike here, and let me just show you the project that I did with the bike. Look at how cute that is. This is the little pots. I've got the minis patterns in the background, larger, the 6x6 patterns in the background. Too cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. And you could do just the front of the bike, so you could do a smaller piece if you wanted to. It's lots of, even just the back of the bike too. Lots of options for that stencil. Then I played with just the patterns, just to kind of give you an idea of, these are 6x6s. This is that Geo hexagon that is really surprised. I love the design of it, the graphic design of it, the words. So my puppy's in the background having a nightmare, if you can hear her barking. These are the minis, more 6x6s. And then I played with the little pots. Look at how cute. These are the minis, bird's nest. And then I stenciled out some angel wings as well, just really quick to kind of get an idea and give you an idea. And then here are the projects that I did. Let me just kind of Move these aside. So this is the blossom, cherry blossom, and the bird's nest. Look at how cute that is. Oh, I love it. This is the tin bucket, and I've got I don't think you can see all of the pattern in the background, but I use the mini modern pattern, and then the tulips. And I used all the different sizes in here, and I just took the stems down, you know, kind of squished it together, using my stencils as my guide and not having to use the whole thing. But so I just would use the head of the flower and then the leaves, and then draw in my stem to make it the size that I wanted. Here is, I love this one. These are the terracotta pots, and then these are the full size, the large flower. I think the large tulip and the large daylily, and then I use the smaller daffodil and smaller tulip, all different size of pots there. And then I added in some spring leaves in the background, and I've got all of these modern patterns in the background as well. So cute. Love it. Okie dokie, let me set that one aside. Then this one, look, I hope you can see that. This is, I just took a background that I had, and I put that geo hexagon in the different sizes, because there's 3 different sizes basically, in gold. And then I had some of that gold paper that I used in Sunday Inspiration a couple Sundays ago, I think, and then just stenciled right on it with the hexagon. Amazing. So this pattern right here is going to be fantastic in different abstracts as background pieces, and then as focal points as well. So I love it, love it, love it. Hope you can see that. Okie dokie. Then this is a big one that I did. This is 16 by 20. This is 11 by, I think it's a little bit bigger than 11 by 14. So this is the mason jar, and then the lavender, and all the background. I hope you can see the pattern in the background. That is all the 6 by 6 stencils. I just used a variety of them. They're just great for pattern background. So I've got some spring leaves in here, along with all the different sizes of lavender, and a small lavender down here on the table. But look at how gorgeous that is. I love it. And then this is the spring wreath, and I had this background, and I just quickly stenciled in the spring wreath with some cherry blossoms, and then a new possibilities from the words, and just loved it. Oh, and I used all the words on, so that's from the positive or spring words. This one is spring words, so lots of options for the spring words stencil as well. But you can make this really graphic, or you can really make it, you know, real, like green with leaves and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of options for that, for this stencil. So those are the stencils for the spring stencil launch, and we are going to now, I'm going to jump into a video, and we're going to make some background papers, and I'm going to show you my process and the sandwich process that I use to making my backgrounds. And we're going to use a bunch of the new stencils for background making, and I just share from different backgrounds, starting with different backgrounds in my journal, an old jelly print, and then a piece of paper that just had text on it. How you can create some fun background pages, journal pages, collage elements, that kind of thing. We're going to make that right now. So all the stencils are available in the shop now. You can jump on over there. The link is down below in the YouTube description box, and I hope you can get your hands on some fun ones. I'll have some videos out on the next couple of days for some projects, and Sunday Inspiration is going to be great because it's going to be the angel wings, and that's it. So let's get creating. All right, so I am creating my backgrounds on a on regular, this is copy paper. One is a jelly print, one has some paper on it that was collaged down, and then my journal page that I've brayered off on. And I chose those because they're different, and you can see that you can create a background on anything. We're going to use the fun new stencils. I've got all of my colors out here, and I put a bunch of different colors out on my palette so that I can just go to town. And I'm using some sponges to stencil with. I'll use my fingers, a brayer, some paper, some pressed paper you'll see in just a few minutes. But the object is to not care about what you're doing, to just play and have fun. And so I'm just grabbing stencils and I'm adding color. That's really all I'm doing. And you'll see that I'm not even really thinking too much right now about the color, except for the fact that I'm not going to put this orange down on top of the orange paper because it's not going to show up. So I do want to keep in mind what will be contrasting colors, possibly what will stand out. But really, honestly, I don't want you to think hard about creating a background or collage papers. Just play and have fun. That is when the best papers and backgrounds happen for me, is when I just don't care. Because what's the worst that can happen? You throw it away, you redo it, you go over it. And so the process is like a sandwich. It's just about layers. So I am going to add my stencil designs, and then I'm going to add a layer of paint. Then I'm going to add some more stencil designs, and it's back and forth in this sandwich kind of thing that will build up the layers. And every layer gets covered up a little bit, and we have to be willing to let go of the previous layer to create some really interesting, fun backgrounds and collage papers. And so I'm just choosing colors that I feel like look good, that work well with the background, that stand out, that give me contrast. I'm choosing fun patterns. I'm just really picking the next stencil up off of my pile and just going for it. And so I just don't want to think too hard. I'm using all of the colors because in this process, you're going to find some color combinations, some colors that really stand out, that you absolutely love and that you want to highlight or come back to or do more of. And so all this is doing is getting the mojo flowing, to get our creative process going, to get the ideas happening, to get the magic flowing. And so just play. Go through all of your colors, put all of your colors out, and I'm using regular medium body paints because they work really well with stenciling, but really honestly it just doesn't matter because all of these layers get covered and then they peek out and then they get covered again. And for this first layer, all we're doing is stenciling with all the colors of our rainbow basically. And you'll see as you start putting colors down, like on this page right here, like, wow, I got a lot of red and pinks going on. So it's in that process that you're like, okay, well, I need to add another color that might contrast a little bit more. But the first few layers they're just for fun. They're just to get that creative energy moving, to get your ideas coming, all of those kinds of things. And so I'm just pulling out all of the designs and just getting a bunch of random patterns on there. I'm overlapping, I'm touching the other patterns, and here's another thing too. As I stencil, I'm not doing a square splotch of stencil. I'm doing random areas. I move the stencil around in the middle of stenciling so that it doesn't all look perfect. And that's the key, is to have it messy. Have it kind of all over the place. Those are the best. And again, that's part of that not caring and letting go thing, is that keep it all over the place. I do try to work in corners or in threes to move the color around the page or the paper. So now that I get all of my color down through my stencils, I always add black. I will either add black or white, but I usually save the white for the top, the very last portion of my pages or my backgrounds, but I always add in black, and it's usually letters or numbers or scribbles or pencil marks, because you need that pop of black to peek out for contrast, for interest, for depth, all of those kinds of things. So I'm adding my black. And now I'm adding some scribbles. Just, again, it doesn't matter. Just scribble the heck out of it. Use your non-dominant hand and scribble around. Make all kinds of crazy marks, all those kinds of things. Because those little bits show up in the most random and amazing spots. So now that we've got all of those layers down, those colors down, now we're going to neutralize. This is the sandwich, so we put all that pattern down and then we push it back. And we can do that in a couple of different ways. We can do that with our brayer, we can do that with our fingers, we can do that with a pressed paper technique. There's a lot of different ways. These are the ways that I do it. Those pencil marks that are in the background, I used a Stabilo all pencil, which is water soluble. When it mixes with the paint, it creates this kind of messy, grungy feel when those marks get mixed in with the paint. So I use the brayer on the first one, I use my fingers on this one, and I'm adding light colors that are different from what we've put down. And typically what I do is I will use some color that I've already got down in the background and mix it with white gesso. And just move it around, smush it around. Don't cover the whole piece. Work in a triangle or in the corners or different things like that, here and there. Or maybe there's an area that you just can't stand. Cover that up with some paint. Here's the pressed paper technique. And again, I've got some yellow in there with some gesso. But it's different and lighter. I'm trying to get lighter. It's a little bit dark. There we go. Got a little bit light in there to just kind of push those layers back. And I know there's going to be a ton of people say, why do all of that just to cover it up? Because it matters. It makes the most delicious layers, and you can't get it any other way. Plus, it's that creative play in the process. It's part of the discovery of knowing, oh, that was fantastic, or ooh, I didn't like that. And like this color here, I mixed a little bit of blue in with my gesso, and I'm like, ooh, I don't really like that. So I probably won't do that again. And that's part of the learning process. That's part of discovery, and that's how we know where to go when we're doing our processes. And so we've put our second layer of our sandwich on, and just going to do a little bit more on this page. And we're just pushing all those layers back. Look at how beautiful those papers look already, just with that. And you can stop anywhere in the process. I love this. This is my wheelhouse. I could create like this all day long. It just gives me so many ideas, and it gets me creative in so many ways. And so I'm just now, the next layer of the sandwich is more stenciling. And all of those layers add to the final background piece. And so what I'm doing now on this layer is I'm choosing colors that I don't see in the background right now, or that I haven't used, or that is going to contrast with the light. I don't want to go light or anything like that because it'll just kind of blend in. So I'm picking colors that are different, that have some contrast, that are going to make a statement. And when you're going in a random pattern, as you stencil, bits and pieces of the underneath layer are going to show through. And there's so many, you know, there's so many things that you learn in this process. I loved it. It also helps you like with your color theory, like that orange and blue on the color wheel are complementary colors, and you can tell right away that orange and blue look so good together. Look at that background. It's fabulous just as it is right now. Love these stencils. These are all the new stencils. That is just gorgeous. And so again, I'm choosing colors that are going to stand out, that might be complementary to whatever color is behind, and really honestly just playing and having fun. So now I'm bringing my black back in. So I'm doing the same things over and over and over until I feel like it looks good, or I'm tired, or I'm done. And so it's just you can, if you have the same principles over and over, you can work through so many like if you don't like something, you can just cover it up and do another layer. It's all part of that sandwich. So I brought the black in. And so now I'm going to start adding paint again and unifying everything. And I go back over those black areas and newly stenciled areas because I want everything to feel like it's all one piece, that all of the layers are interwoven together. And so again, I'm using gesso and some lighter colors in that aren't prevalent in the background. Scratching into that paint is a great way to get some wonderful texture and interest. And so these are my final layers now, and so as I start to pull everything together, I'm going to use more whites and more blacks because it's neutralizing. It can also give you areas for a focal point or for words or for something like that. So I will highlight with black and white and maybe a tiny bit of color here and there throughout the rest of the end, you know, because we're kind of finishing them up. So I'm going to continue to do the same process till the end, until I feel like, yep, that's good. And so I will add my blacks and my whites. I might add just a tiny bit more stenciling. It just, you know, you kind of have to stand back, take a look, see what needs to be added or subtracted or that kind of thing. So I hope that you get a chance to hop on over to the shop and take a look at the new stencils and play with them and create some wonderful backgrounds and just have fun. Let go, don't care, just get messy and have fun. The link to the stencils, the new stencils, will be down below in the YouTube description box. And so now I'm bringing back in I'm doing blacks and whites now to finish up the pieces and add any additional interest or anything like that that I might feel like I need. And then once I feel like, okay, I think it looks good, I start adding my marks, and I'll use a charcoal pencil. I'll use a Sharpie pen. This is a Sharpie acrylic paint pen. I love them. I'll use my scribble marks, stencils, anything that has to do with mark making. Like, so these are the scribble marks. You don't need a stencil. I have them, so it's super easy. And again, it's white and blacks. I will just continue to add my marks and my scribbles and my pencil marks and all those kinds of things to finish up these pages. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed creating some background papers, and check out the stencils. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you never miss a video, and I will see you on Sunday. Sunday's gonna be a good one.